I'm just getting to Harlan's, and he did say the 78 was back from the sandblaster. So, yeah, you can see a little bit of a change here. Yeah. God, there's just not much structure left in there. So, yeah. So look for that in more videos. Okay. I happen to know that part of today is buttoning up this valve cover, getting all of this buttoned up, because I think that he'd like to move this so we can use the lift for something else for a little while. He did say that OER, or Classic I guess, sent him a new lens so we can deal with that, because that's just not acceptable. So we'll probably be monkeying with that tonight. Yeah, so could be a smorgasbord of things to work on. Found it. So with these wire holders, I want to get them almost snug, but for final torque, I want to get them lined up nice and straight like I did on the other side. So now I'm just, my finger, turning the rest of them down a little bit. So between that and that, that's what we're going to use. Let me move you so you can see what I'm talking about. So see, because of the way number one is, we don't need a wire holder here. It would actually be counterproductive. So that one's just getting a bolt and a washer. Whereas on this side, you know, this worked out pretty nice, because remember, the plugs are facing this way, and tried to keep these nice and straight. So that's what I'm going to do on this side, is try to keep those nice and straight. You know, why not make it look nice? So let's see if I can get you guys balanced. You're probably just going to be looking at the back of my head. Here's what it is. Now I'm just going through my finger, now using my little knurls here, and getting these guys all turned down. And checking, making sure nothing's binding, nothing feels odd. A little harder back here. But as I'm getting closer, just keeping them straight. And then I'm going to take this guy, start really kind of bringing him in. So we're not torquing or anything, we're just getting him snug. Wherever we can. Which I make sound easier than it is back here. Might have to just pull these, pull the brake master out. Get all this out of the way real quick, make it easier to do this valve cover. Should only take us an entire week. Okay, so now she's getting pretty close on those lowers. So now we're just gonna snug her up a bit. See, I'm just trying to keep them straight. I want them to look nice and work. Well, I want them to work more than anything, but I also wouldn't mind it if they look nice. In fact, because it's so hard to get at them, let me grab another tool. Makes it a lot easier to keep that the way I want it, and then fine tune it. I can tell you now, this is a lot easier to do without this freaking fender on. It's gonna suck in the car when it's finished. Remember, with this style of gasket, you don't have to kill it. Let the gasket do some of the work. I do like these though because they're reusable. And they've got a metal core, so it's difficult to over tighten them. I mean, not impossible, but it makes it a lot harder. Now, see, click. You can feel it, you know. Alright. And this one. There we go. So, valve cover now installed. Now I'll play with the wires and I'll show you in just a minute what those look like. Okay, thought I'd throw that on the tripod for a minute. It's freezing in here even though it's warm outside. But we don't want to open doors because it's super moist outside because there's a thunderstorm coming and it's the 15th of December. So I don't know if I'm in shot, doesn't matter. Just looking for some screws on that side. Just figured. Didn't feel like holding the camera. Hey Arnold, camera's on. So anyway, I gotta catch up with him real quick off camera, so we'll be right back. Okay. No, this isn't chipmunk. This is regular video. I just wanted it to... Really? Yeah, just something where we're actually putzing. No, it won't be boring. The people will love it. So, okay, I found them. We have our little flat washers. So... red, white. And apparently, Harlan's been having a good day already. He was in there enjoying his little peach brandy or whatever it is he enjoys. You know, not a whiskey guy like the rest of us. So it ought to be an interesting evening. But yeah, we're going to chase those. So, to make my life easier, because I'm already reaching around an awful lot of stuff, we're going to go ahead and just pop our little fender analog out here. Unfortunately, we still haven't put the actual inners on yet, so
Josh is too busy.
But yeah, the guy that's been doing the paint work, he's a little too busy for it, so Harlan's feeling a little disabused. We all know how that goes. So,
Something's holding it.
yeah, there's a bolt on it. How did you get that in there? It's been in there for weeks.
Let's lift the motor out. You see that?
Yeah, you're gonna blow your spine out. That's the wrong way to go about getting shorter. There we go. That better start. Now, like anything into aluminum, don't go crazy. Get everything started before you do anything.
It's a quarter.
What the? Is there another bolt on the back? No, there's one right there. Okay, it's going to be a comedy tonight, it turns out. No, he's going to take that cover and go chase all the holes, make sure everything's good. You don't want to be monkeying on top of there and have anything get stretched. Especially since that piece wasn't free. Not even close. Well, for now, before I put the wire separators in. I'm just getting some bolts started here.
It looks like they did.
They did chase them?
They did put something in there that keep them okay now.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're all greasy like that.
Yeah, I would chase them. Let's just make sure they're happy. Because honestly, I think when it goes on, we're probably going to wind up putting, or for the last time when it goes on, we'll probably put glue on it.
Oh.
Well, do you want that rattling off? This thing's going to rattle a little. There's going to be some vibration. Maybe a little.
What quarter, half inch?
What's wrong? Oh, for your rethreader? Should be.
Really?
Most of those rethreaders are half inch.
Yes.
Oh, you don't got the same. Oh, you got a different kit than I do. I've got a Craftsman kit for that, and all of mine are half inch.
Why is that looks not the same?
Sounds awful convenient, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
So,
Oh, I guess big. Both of us was wrong.
I don't know why you didn't grab 7/16 while you were there. I also don't know why you didn't take it to the wrenches.
I need the exercise.
Yeah. Well, we're fat old guys. That's what happens. So for the next part, unfortunately, I'm blind and don't see real well. Okay, so I need my 3 screws there. Okay, just kind of lightly snugging it.
Maybe we should go cars while it's kind of raining. Or are you calling it an early night, leaving early in this day?
I'm not sure. It really depends on the storm. She was watching Care 11 when I came over, and Belinda was showing that storm coming across. It's not quite to Marshall yet, but it's moving about 70 miles an hour.
70?
Yeah. And leaving a wake of destruction behind it. So, for those down south watching, it's the 15th of December in Minnesota. All of my snow is almost melted now, and a thunderstorm is coming, which of course will finish off our snow and our ice. But then, overnight tonight, we're going to go right back down into the 20s. So tomorrow morning is going to be a great day not to commute. I'm glad I work at home. Yeah, so just be ready in the morning, Harlan.
Yes, I think I got it.
Yeah, you got to commute.
As of Friday before last, I saw fish houses out on the lake.
Yeah,
Get your ass up there.
on clear? Yeah, they're on some pretty sketchy ice. I'm not into that. I like ice fishing. I hate swimming. So I'm just gonna go get. I've been using this little guy. It doesn't fit there. I'll go get a ratchet and a little short one.
So is that console? Is that so part? Is that plastic or metal?
No, that's metal.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you just had to buy a couple of them to get one that isn't all smashed up.
Okay. How much does he pay for that?
I think they're less than $4.50 a pop.
Used?
Oh yeah, they're from cars that have been pulled apart. I'm finding what I'm looking for here. They're looking for this guy in a freaking ratchet. Give us a second. Okay. So see how much nicer those route? And then we have one floater on that side. I may add one to the other side. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, those really line up nice. Quick update. We finally found all these guys. They weren't where we expected them to be. And getting ready to put the relay rod on here. So you can see she's sitting there. Scoops on nice and tight. Pretty happy with that. Oh, I forgot to plug that one in. I've got that plugged in for now. That may change later. I may extend this later when we're wiring the car for real, just so I can make it run a little nicer. Haven't decided yet. We'll take that as we go. Yeah, no, we're kind of at a point where we're going to want to push this out of our way for a little while, so we're trying to wrap up some of these little loose ends. Okay, time to show the people. Tightening this bolt sucks, but we've got that in there now, and now, you know, because that's what it's going to pull against. When that goes, you can see that the bring it button is really on, so there's no lag between the two. And you can see we're not hitting anything there. We're not hitting anything there. Everything looks like it's going to work pretty good. See, the one area it looked like it might be tight, there's still plenty. So, got more than a wine cart voucher card from Summit Thickness. So, nothing's hitting. Doing a quick fit here. Of course, he fixed the floor, so some of those screw holes disappeared, so we just had to re-drill them. But we figured, because we did the seat bolt modification and some other modification. Oh, that was... yeah, that goes up into that thing there. We're going to have to probably notch this guy. So we have a grinder. So see, this side started. Now let's go get that side. Okay, so now we've got all our little gutter channels in. And we're going to do another fit on that back seat real quick. Right. So now we're able to get those folded over. You know, it'll make it easier when they build the upholstery if we already have all the framework done. So, look at that. Oh, he's bringing in the back seat. Well, that's a snug fit. I'm trying not to poke it on these finger killers here. So we got it in there. It's a pretty snug fit side to side. Really tall. But it'll work. I'm trying to figure out what the heck. Why is there a hole right there? Neither one of us remember doing that. So... guess we'll pick the car up in a little bit and see if that's just a floor drain. Could be. So there. That's starting to look like something. It's time to go ahead and address this guy. So hopefully they sent the right lens. I started taking it apart and said, I better check and see if this one's any better first. So you better say, okay, it does say Berlinetta in right hand, so there's a start. So let's take her apart and see what we get. Maybe I'll put you guys on the tripod. Okay. Alright. Let's see how this looks. Alright. Okay. So, let's see here. Well, that's definitely, you can definitely see that that is centered a lot better than the other one was. So, let me go ahead and get this back apart. We'll play with that silly gasket again. Get it back together and let's see if it lines up. I need to go back on record as saying, I forgot, these suck to put on. So, where that one nice gasket is that they hit, these things want to stick to it. You know, these little legs here. So, I gotta play this game to get past them. Don't pinch any wires. We want the gasket to seal, but we also still want the lens to actually pop in. And then the whole time you're fighting this stupid gasket that hasn't completely relaxed yet. So, it's always 10 things at a time. Alright, I think I'm close enough to get some screws started. So, and then it's just regular old plastic screws, nothing to it. Okay, I've been prying a little, pushing on the gasket, lining up this seal, moving around, tightening, 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 coming around, missing one screw, but I just found it, and it's getting there. It's not perfect, but it wasn't perfect last time either, but we're getting there. A lot of it is about don't go crazy, don't tighten anything up. I've just been going around and around and just bringing it in. Trying to keep this all lined up as neatly as possible. And then I'm finding that just trying to keep these lips on the gasket in where they belong. That's enough to keep you busy. There. So that one means I can now tighten this one down a little. And of course we've got that high wind coming, so I think Harlan's moving his daily driver into the shop. And I can't blame him. The blue truck's currently sitting outside, but it'll go in the garage in a little bit when I get home. See, it's the same problem we had with the other lines too, is just trying to get some of this stuff to line up nicely. It's difficult. There. So I gotta loosen this one a little. But like I said last week, all this aftermarket garbage, it never fits. But we're getting there. Hopefully it'll relax a little bit before the car is ready to actually have them on, and we can get them in there nice. That's the hope. Resist the temptation to just grab a power tool and do this. This is plastic and it will break.
I noticed on the bottom one of these, this rubber goes like away.
Yeah, that's because it's a little too short. It needs to stretch. Yeah, that's what I was just fighting over here too. So, the big thing is, are we going to be any better? Let's find out. So, let me try to pull that in as best I can. It won't stay yet, but I'm doing the best I can. Let me snug that plate up.
Wonder if a guy wouldn't be better off just finding some weather strip putting around there.
Alright, well, it isn't perfect, but that is considerably better than what we had, as far as that lineup. So, maybe we'll go with that. And then hopefully, in a few months, these things stretch a little, and we can line them up a little better. We'll find out. It's just a shame. You can see that one just wasn't straight. Even without it being attached, you can see it dives. So, it is what it is. I'm trying to figure out the best way to store this because these have to relax. So, it's probably just going to be in the boxes so we don't lose them. This is half installed. One, because you got to finish once it relaxes getting those lined up. But two, you know, it's got to bridge the gap between both sides. So see, that's what opens up so you can do the gas. So, you know, a lot of adjustability, too much adjustability. So that's about all we can do with that for now. But at least it's not lost, and I think he's got a new emblem for that. Okay. See? Starting to look like a car. We've put a few plugs on there because who knows about dust. We don't want any dust in anything. So at this point, that's probably about all we're doing on this tonight. It's looking pretty good. Hopefully nothing crazy has to happen to make this work. We still don't have a good solution yet. But until we know exactly where the fenders line up and where that hood latch is, we don't want to just cut and move things. We really want to make sure we only do that one time. So, hopefully these seats ship next week. We'll see. Maybe. You know how it is nowadays. Nothing ever seems to be delivered. So, you can see how nice, even though, you know, none of that vinyl would actually get reused, he did a pretty good job because he wanted to make sure that the frame was straight and happy, because that's the thing he doesn't want to pay for. It's bad enough we got to pay a guy to make new covers and put them on, but you don't want to pay them to do all that metal work. And then I don't think these cars had a panel here, and that's probably fine. At some point we do still have to cover the old shock tower holes, and other than that, I think this is coming along pretty well. Doesn't exactly have much tin left in his trunk back here for going back in the car. And that's also another good sign.
It does have
It does have a block out?
you can buy one, yeah.
You can,
Cardboard piece, yeah.
oh, well, if it's cardboard, you can just make that. Piece of masonite or something. Go to Home Depot. Why do I got a feeling if you buy it, it's $50? And it's cardboard.
That's oversized.
Yeah, so it's $30 to ship it.
Yeah.
So at some point, I guess you can put that bell housing plate in. I'm not sure how useful that is with this car, but you'll note that in the 60s that went away, and they stopped giving you that access. But all right, well, if I don't pick the camera back up and start filming, then it'll be a thanks for watching. So this may or may not be the end. We're not sure yet. This has been a ShopRex approved video. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.